any what tags what you should use. I just want to watch the stream, the Persona Royal stream. I just want to watch it. So we're gonna go through this very quickly. I know who it is. I pieced together all the evidence with help of other people. So we're gonna go through this very quickly. Does it have music? So I will stop in the very, very important parts of this, just so we can. Okay. So I will skim through all of this because we gotta vote at one point, and I do know who it is, so I should probably vote the right one very quickly, for we lose all them points. Criminal must be mentioned early in the story. That's the worst part. It's the most important part. It's like everyone gets introduced, so obviously the killer is one of them. So yeah. So Juliet Violet. So I still don't get this one. Hey Minecraft kid, I was watching. Jesus, dude, what? How did you get to 2 months already? It's been 3 days since you subbed with Prime. How did you do that? Wait, what? Here, 3 days ago, Minecraft Kid has subscribed Prime. A few seconds has. No, wait. No, yeah, and then. No, it is, yes. In a few seconds, you have 2 months. How did you do that? How did you do that? You've gotten through a whole month in 3 days. Oh boy. Good to see you, but I will not be there for long because I do want to watch a stream because, you know, gotta need to see all the story. And since I'm a cheap chump. I'm a cheap chump. I'm a person who watches streams rather than playing the games because he has apparently no money. You know, I'm at work, lol. I'm sorry, I'll be silent, don't worry. I go through it quickly. So yeah, there's a murder mystery, and it's a pretty simple one, honestly, if you think about this. So I'm gonna go through every single detail we need in order to ascertain the right culprit. And I will stop and will mention them whenever we need it. Whenever we need that singular tip. Or the singular hint. 12 hours toiling behind me. Ah yeah, man, 12 hours. It's bad. It happened, man. It's 5 AM. Jesus. You've been working overnight? So yeah. We gotta go quick. So I will tell you if any information is important. And I will probably, if I remember, I will go through the culprits I thought they were. Yes, 6 AM. 6 AM, yeah, but it's still awful, man. It's this morning. I'm not a morning person, so. Yep. That is the first one. That is my mom and my little sister. I thought that was obvious. Maybe there's not as much family resemblance as I thought. So this sentence is important. Not as much. It has not that much of an importance right now, but remember this one. So. Okay. The introduction of the mom and the sister. Twins. So, twins was also mentioned. So one of them is like the sister is the twin, and the mother can't be a twin, so the mother is the mother. Easy. I work 2 12-hour shifts, 7 to 9, then 2 nights, 19 to 7, then 6 days off. Dab. Oh boy. Wait a minute. 2 12-hour shifts. Okay. Then 2 nights. Then 6 days off. Hey man, that's how it goes, man. If you go big in life, you can go the chill route. Good job, man. It's still awful, 12 hours, man. 6K pay this month. Poggers, more cars. Feels good, yeah. I mean, at least if you have some decent breaks, I suppose, and good people to interact with, then the 12 hours aren't as bad, I suppose. So, well, that's not important. We can skim over. Detective Gina on the case. So yeah, we already have the very first hint is the introduction somewhere up there. Juliet introduces us to the mother and the supposed twin sister. And now we get through this. I will not read this out because we have less and less time. I should probably try and do it fast. So I'll go over it very quickly. Who I thought, in this case, by the way, when Dorothy was missing her pendant, I was actually thinking that Laurie was it, because she's the only one who came in and get out, and they didn't suspect her. And in the end, you know, you will see. You will see. Most of it on my seat. On my seat, man, you gotta stand up every now and then. All those 12 hours, you can't just sit all the time. You gotta stand up. So yeah, it's a pretty simple one. I figured this one out so easy. Big brain. So, it's Mordred. So yeah. Come hail. Aaron, come hail. So, yeah, they talk about the necklace, but we know where it is. It's behind some basket, and then, you know, it's a lady. It's a lady. Laurie took it. The little sister, lady, it's just a girl. That's the exposition we don't need to know. That's how simple or straightforward this case is. You don't need all of this information. Someday in the middle, the Holmes said himself that you shouldn't think too much about this. You shouldn't. Even the titles on each of the events say that you shouldn't go over baseless assumptions. Something with too much, you know, that has too much assuming in it. You don't have to go overboard, pretty much. At least I thought. That's why I was keeping it very simple, realizing it very, very quickly. There's a lot of subtle red herrings. I don't know if I can call them out, but there are some. There are pretty much some very nice ones. So I'm surprised. If I didn't think about this simply, I wouldn't have not figured it out. If I was full of conspiracy mode, I would have never figured it out. So, you know, Holmes actually helped me. The game itself gives you very helpful tips to not go too overboard. So yeah, this is whatever, man. We don't have to argue this case. It's the introduction. Violet family, Goldie family. Goldie. So. Yeah. God damn it. Morris, man. Poor Morris. The first thing that happens to Morris after getting here is grab it. There's nothing up top. I can't believe it. Of course. And now Chris is gonna help. So, I can't believe it, man. I can't believe it. We touchy at the boy, you know. We touching the upper and the lower, man. By the way, I've been watching Persona 5 Royal, so I don't know, that's why. You can bet your ass I'm just gonna watch it. Watch it a lot. Hell yeah. I have nothing good, so we have to fight this for a long ass time. So I need to change the mystic code. We need to go through it fast, you know. Sadly, we can't charge MPs, but you know, that's because they're humans. We have our consciousness replicated or replace those people with what we know, or what we would expect the most out of those, or what we would see get the closest to the characters. Wait a minute. We replaced them. That's it. Our consciousness replaced those peoples because we didn't know what to assign them for. So Mordred is just a guy now. It's very loud, Jesus. I want to shout over it. I think mostly I can probably use... something that gives power. We need more power, man. That's lasting 4 turns. This is ridiculous. But in any case, we beat good old Morris up, who's a guy. That's not important, but it is good to know he's a guy. Impulsive nature. Oh, there's another hint splattered about. That might be important. It is that every character here in this Goldie and Violet play, who's got replaced by servants, which is everyone, you know, is closer to the servant based on their character, not only because, you know, blonde hair Goldie, violet hair Violet family, forehead, but because they have certain personality traits going on with them. Although I would say Adamska is probably the furthest away from that one. But everyone else kind of fits. So, yeah, there it is. Ah, the drawer, not the basket. Some sort of clove basket. Laurie, was it? Yeah, I knew this one. You know, no need to brag about this. No need to brag about this. So, it's like, this is, oh, you don't need to know that. Just remember he injured his dominant hand, and everyone in this is a right-hander, boy. I just forfeit you the information so everything will be easier to understand once we go through it very quickly, because I will not stop. So yes, Morris dominant hand gone. So, also very important to know, this engagement. Yeah, while we go through it, it's a good, and this is it's a celebration, an engagement between Juliet and Morris, for the reasons of they don't want their clans to go, you know, they have less than holy, less than good, or less the families they are in, both the Goldies and the Violets are not as nice as they seem to be, not as just pompous rich people. And here he is, the boy. He is, you know, Sheringham or something. Who would self-insert himself into a story, you know? Who would do that? And I've at this point, obviously he's also replaced. So, you know, as simple as this is, it's just you know, it would be kind of sad if there was a detective out there who self-inserts into every story. Which I gotta say, Moriarty's right. He will say that later on. Again, this is how much information you actually don't need. Again, all those things that you need to know, all the struggle in between the families are unnecessary, because the intent plus the reason and who is not really defined based on the reasons each and every one would have. I have no better words right now, so you know. No informations, man. It's a good story. I do say it's a very good story. I like it. I like how I had a whole plan about this, going through it slowly, having written down all the points, but I was very lazy and watching the stream, so I skipped over all of this. So I will just go in the flow, do it quickly. Professor M. I mean, that should not be surprised who it is anymore, right? So we will soon tell a story about how we get into. It is not 2019. This is the thing that was confusing me. It is not May 2019. It's just May 2020. And I think it does play based on real time. So I'm kind of confused. That is the only thing that confuses me. They also say it in between, and I thought they were wrong, having the wrong date, which is probably right, but it's an odd thing. Very odd. So here, wait. Some nerve he has, showing up unannounced as though he were the main character. What is about a man who called himself detectives that makes them so terribly shady? Yep. Self-insertion. Poor guy. Yeah, it would be kind of sad if Holmes were to self-insert himself into a story, being the last to arrive. Oh, that is the second hint, by the way. I was talking about this in Discord, and I will try to make it as simple as possible. All the hints for you guys, even though no one will watch this. The second hint is exactly this. What we see is the family. It's the rough, pretty much the rough relation from the families here. Can we go over that one? So that's the second half. It's rough. It's a rough look at the family. So yeah, that's how bare bones or simple it is supposed to be. It's not as simple if you think about it more. If you go overbrained in there like I did. I got overbrained in there and I realized it, but I made a mistake. I made a fatal mistake and someone corrected me. This what they talking about is something Holmes needs for later. So that's not even for us. He's talking about the crescent moon. Kogetsu, I think. The Kogetsu Hotel. It means just, translated, it seems to be crescent moon. It's important for him. And some other detail later. So nothing necessary for us. So yeah. Let's go. We're going bone sleeping again. I'm gonna lie on the ground, cry, and everything's gonna be fine. So. Yeah. So. You find yourself the wrong end. Yep. So. Here. This is the third hint. Why did your brain choose to substitute Mordred for Morris? Simple. It did not so in error. It merely assigned Mordred to him based on his violent disposition. It is a stark difference between that and the events you are witnessing. As such, there may be other errors of similar nature. Listen closely. You cannot take what you see at face value. That is absolutely crucial. Think carefully and act cautiously. Once you are back on the stream, we will be powerless to help you. The stream is someone else's reality. As long as you experience it, you are the person. I don't want to scare you, but if you die in the stream, we are very much. We right now share consciousness with another person from somewhere else. So the second hint is, if I have to say it as simple as possible, you might S-mash, like mash, S-mash, with the earlier rough translation of who has the relation with what. We might have only a rough look at everything. It is, I wouldn't say unclean, but it is on surface level, I would say. We have a look on everything, or we have a look on something, on specific events on a surface level. I don't think it is as simple. It's even more freaking all over the place. Like this sounds like a freaking yeah. This sounds even more cryptic. But yes, I am right in a certain degree. And Holmes said it probably easier. What we see is not what he sees. And it is more of a surface level than you think it is. It's not as difficult. It's not like Chris is replaced by it is not like Chris is replaced by Bedivere, but you know, because we are replacing him with Bedivere, his actions are different. That's completely false. It's surface level. It is so surface level that it is only C. What we see might be wrong. What we hear, what we feel, and everything else is pretty much okay. That is the translation to the hint Holmes was giving us, which he did say, but you can still interpret a bunch of stuff in it. Makes it difficult, makes it difficult. So, So, I don't think we can take this as one. No. This is something that's suspicious, but I think no people would say anything against it yet. So we're gonna leave it at that. There's another hint hidden in there, which is a conclusion of hints to get to one specific outcome. But for now, it doesn't mean anything. just to give you an outlook here. What Eve says, or Eva. Here. By the way, Chris, why don't you stop by my room later? It's a tiny hint. So, Sheringham is missing. Freaking Sheringham. So. And this is where everything begins. Where we can do assumptions based on what happens. So. He is absolutely dead. Poor guy. The detective got killed off in the first act? Unbelievable. So. Teacups. So. He requested a left-handed teacup. Now that's the first red herring. Because in this case, or in the overall case, it might not be as important as you might think. It is our only clue we have, so therefore we're gonna go through it. Therefore we have on. This is the only thing we can hold on to, but it'll solve itself. Funny enough, most of the things will solve itself at time if we give it some. We shouldn't go out and assume things already. But all we know right now is that Sherlock got a visit from someone who was left-handed, or was in the requirement of a left-handed cup. For some reason, people have left-handed cups. I'm a left-hander myself. I feel very insulted. You grab it with your bare hands. You hold the little thing with left or right. It doesn't matter. So there's no need. You don't need a dominant hand to hold a teacup. But for some reason they have one, and therefore, we got him. So, oh, by the way, that is a second hint. That is the second, or not the second, the sixth hint. We are the detective for all the cases. So, we are never, and this is not an assumption because he thinks I might not be. We are for sure never the culprit. That is something very important. Because I had an assumption based on that, but it's for later. So, oh, that's another very interesting little thing. He's pretty pale, but aside from that, he doesn't really look dead. Very important for later. That is a very important detail for later, but it solves itself. So it is another small red herring. If you were looking for that one and thinking, this is something to do. So they were just saying it might be toxic. He might be poisoned. But hey, so and now they want to move the body. Chris is moving the body. Nothing of importance. There's a lot of context between the Marble Company, which the Violet and the Goldie family want to engage to. They're each their oldest daughter / son are to be engaged, and the Marble Company is to make sure that everything works fine. The fusion, at least. So that's all we need to know, pretty much. If you want to know more, please read the story. It's pretty good. So yeah, we can ascertain most of we can say most of the stuff here, because at this point, someone wants to get rid of Sheringham, because he's a detective. Makes sense, right? So he is more of a detective than we are. And now he's telling us stories about how he's close to... I've known Juliet since I was a baby. Her mother and I go way back. Hawthorne pretty much gives us a reason as to why he would do it. Honestly. He is a sympathetic person. He feels for Juliet, who goes for the engagement. Not because she wants it, but because it's political, as we said already. It's a political marriage. Yeah, and he thinks that Morris is not a good deal, and he's called it true. He's true. I don't even know if we can get to the last one. I might have to skip a bunch of those. So the question itself that we ask, why we are here, is also solved later on down the road. And in order to save all those seconds that we probably need to right now, it is because Juliet thinks of us as very important, very, very important. So yeah, and I'm surprised that Steno Steno is playing the part. I'm more of a Uriel fan, because Steno never robbed me the right. Never rubbed me the right way. I don't know if this is even the right term. Maybe because she's not as good as a servant. But hey, Uriel is where it's at. So we got the relationship. Morris is just as an idiot as he always is. And good old Juliet. In this line, in this light, Steno is pretty nice. But hey, yep, putting up a strong face. She does what she does for the family. So the engagement is for the family, which, if we can hear all of this, how she endures everything, and how she can personally talk to us, we can already also assume that she was not the killer. Pretty much. She was not the killer because of how dedicated she is to the family. It's very important. So we can also already cross out two of the people, as us, the EMC, and Juliet, because she opened up to us, telling us what she was thinking about. Hawthorne is not as much out, honestly. Poor guy. He about ritsued this guy because he was laughing his ass about how Sheringham just died. Good guy. I can understand. So it is an artless approach. All those things lead to Morris, honestly. Just to cut the case very quickly, I said that before, with the dominant hand of Morris is Brock, is piss poor and Brock, and the only thing, and the only person who can only use his left hand right now, and everyone else seems to be right hand, or is confirmed right hand, is, It's Morris, yeah. He's the left-hander because he has to. And there was a lot of talk about this, but the cup is a red herring. Even the story goes a little bit into it, which then you can realize as soon as the story itself indulges into something too much, and almost figuring it out, it means it's a red herring. So unless you think of the solution yourself or you think of a direction yourself, it is a red herring. If I guess it's just a thing you realize. Oh, I didn't change the thing. We have 18 minutes. I don't think I can get through it fast enough. I might have to skip most of them. Sadly. Holy Grail. They're at the Holy Grail part. So. Yeah, they're talking about the hand right now, which is already, for me at least, I thought it was a red herring. They indulge in it too much. It is not a murder mystery. It is not like they know what well written is, and it is it is not well written when the story solves itself while you can't figure it out. So that's not a murder mystery for us. So we can already assume that even if Morris was there, and he wasn't there at the time that Sheringham died, he was not the murderer. Because it is too simple. And we have 4 more chapters. This is more of a rhetorical or more of a storytelling evidence. It is not in the game, the evidence, but it is kind of obvious. If you have 4 chapters and we already have all the clues, it wouldn't make sense to continue. Or if this had anything of significance, then Morris would be the primary killer, and we're gonna get there later on, and there would be a secondary killer. There's not much we can do here. So a flash of light. Yep, Morris. This is something that I got hung up to. That was the red herring for me, which is not as apparent, but here. We tell them right now who it was while we were passed out sleeping, which doesn't make sense unless the person that we are portraying right now is also tapping into our consciousness while we're in Chaldia. So it means he knows what we are talking while the Chaldia Gudao is asleep. He can see what this guy sees, pretty much, the unnamed MC. And while the unnamed MC is asleep, he can see what we see. And I thought that it was actually the MC, because that way he can tap into 2 masterminds and just change the evidences based on that. So pretty much he goes into the Shalia world, and then both Sherlock and freaking Moriarty can figure out how to mask everything, and then he can do it, and then you and then here you can't do much. It is shared, so what he does we would see pretty much. This is the argumental error that I came up with, but I had a whole thing about this, even going so far as to say there was some sort of subconscious sleepwalking going on in a certain degree. This is more far-fetched though, but it's not right. Obviously, we can rule that out. But I will still think about it that it is still rather odd that they would the MC would know what we're talking about while he was sleeping. This is something I got hung up with. So. We just beaten up a couple of wolves, which means that's another, not red herring, but it's an information that you don't need. Both Chris and Wu are both proficient at fighting. Nothing necessary. We have 15 minutes. I have to skip very fast. Alright, we don't have any other choices. I think I click through this normally while explaining everything, and then afterwards I probably have to fast forward, and every decision we have I will look into this very quickly. See what's up. Damn, what happened? Persona's going crazy right now. All those bone. So gotta hurry, man. So yeah, we are strong. There, those two are strong boys, and Morris escaped. So we assumed he is somewhere in this forest / jungle, and yeah. So a person is out here, which is I can already confirmed in order to save time. It's not Morris. At least I think this is where it gets a little bit more confusing. We need the last 2 chapters, but it is not Morris. So Aaron, very aggravating. I don't think he would kill him either, because you know, look at him. So yeah, and now it slips up. Morris was in the room, which, you know, so makes sense. He could act. Aaron could pretty much act, but there is no reason for him to kill his own son. There's absolutely no reason. He would only lose things. So for now we can, or not kill son, but kill the detective and, you know, the missing Morris, who we don't know if he's alive or not, but we already know as a city boy he can't survive outside with all the wolves, and he's not in the hotel either. So we can assume the worst for now. He has nothing to gain for it. He is his father. Wait, and then he reveals another thing. He's Chris's father as well. Marble Company. So there's something interesting in here, but we don't need it right now. We have 10 minutes. We can't do much. So but Miss Anne is very attached to Chris, by the way. Something that we can see right now based on their actions. So yes, and now we have seen it a little bit, but I will point out the most important hint here. So Chris seems to be a good guy. Why are you all happy about this? What's wrong with you? She goes away. Chris is a nice person. And we both think it's not a bad idea. Hawthorne knows a lot about the family. Just very important. Hawthorne knows a lot about the family. So, you know. Oh, you know what? I might be wrong for a later assumption. We have 10 minutes. Okay, we gotta hurry. But, you know, Hawthorne knows the family. Very important. Thinks he's a nice catch. Nice deal. You know, we think so too. But I was under the assumption that, you know, Juliet didn't like that because, you know, she likes us and she doesn't want to fall in love with someone else, you know, the cuckery thingy. So oh boy. Yeah, this is awesome. And he makes a great husband. Julia knows that too, but it's not that simple. And then it changes. The conversation changes into what we are for Juliet, which where this is a slight red herring leading away from the actual clue, thinking that we, you know, she does this all because she likes us and it doesn't matter who it is. It is not getting better, you know, and that's why she was angry. But I have another theory. But sadly, we have to skip all of this very quickly now. So this guy, by the way, just to get it, yeah. Yep. Just really quickly, Kane was the one who said all of this. No one suspects the youngin. No one suspects the youngin. But in another topic, it was a red herring right away. Like, don't get fooled. He said why would we see this in his perspective? We can't see things from his perspective, you know, or from an outside bird perspective. So it is a story that the MC that we don't know. Therefore, it's a red herring because we have no knowledge of it, and it should not be. If it it should not be revealed, otherwise it would be too easy. So, you know, it's a storytelling perspective again. The perspective shifted, and therefore, oh god, Jesus, 8 minutes. Okay. So we're gonna knock our heads off. We gotta hurry. We wanna go back home sleeping. So, oh Jesus, oh Jesus, oh no. Okay, we have to skip this very quickly now, yeah? I have no idea when the vote is gone. It might be gone earlier. Or it might be gone today, or it might be gone, you know, like next reset, this reset or next reset. I don't know. That's why we hurry. That's why we hurry. We hurry. Oh Jesus. So, Druid is still alive. Oh god, I might have to skip all of this. I gonna read it later. Okay. No, you know what? We can't afford the timing anymore. Just remember where we were. I don't take any chances. I gotta vote quickly. So we're gonna stop in this one, and then I will tell more and further. The thought process going through everything. There's an insane amount of red herrings, but yes, just know that what we've seen right now with Kane is not something we have seen. Therefore, it is not something we can use as a credible evidence against anything. Even though he said it, we shouldn't have seen it, and the story shouldn't have showed us. Therefore, making it easier for us to see everything or to know. So, you know, that's important. Very important. Very important. Now let's beat up this person really quickly. I chose the wrong person before, by the way. I had the right hunch, but the wrong person. And Kane is a freaking god. He has shears, and he wins against Sherling. By the way, he's still alive. The boy doesn't die, man. The boy doesn't die. He's too smart. So, and this is where we get revealed that Sherlingham is actually Sherlock Holmes. What a god. He's just he's just in here because he can. There's no other reason other than he can, so therefore he's here. So. All those glittering sunshine thingies. So next hit he's dead. Hey, we were faster with him than with Chris. But he is an actual servant. I would have not been surprised. Yes, we don't have to beat around the bush. He's an actual servant. Fighting against a Kane, who is the younger boy. It's like a snobbish boy. Poor guy, man. He obviously can win, even if he's just a detective and uses his smarts only. He's still a servant, so you know. Damn. Yes, and that's what I hinted all the time. Frickin', this is the thing that got me, because Moriarty said it. Frickin' self-inserted, man. This guy self-inserted himself. So we get to the last part, and then we can go through the other ones with the same manner. I will tell you every thought process necessary. So again, we had major information leaks already, but they all link together. So it's very simple. So why isn't he just clicking skip paper hands? It says May 25, 7 PD. That's like 12 hours. Okay, good. Hey Purple. Hey everyone. It's just I didn't read chat because I was watching the stream in the background. That's why it's so difficult freaking seeing the chat. So, okay, we got everything. So you say we have another day, but you know, here I'll reveal it for you guys. I just kind of need to see my friend person thingy. Wait, it's not here. My friend code, no. Oh, my friend code is leak. And with leak is over. Life is over. So, very simple. It's, where is she? Harriet. Harriet. Why can I be so sure? We go through it now. We have another reset and we can read the story afterwards. But first we can go through it without reading it. It's a very good story again. I recommend it. Even if it's over, you can read it. It's pretty cool. There's more than a murder mystery in it. Where was I? No hit hurt you. I think was it. I think we were at 4 before I started. You know. Oh, we're fighting. We're fighting the kids, man. Brah, yeah. I'm watching, you know, Justine and the other girl named Caroline. Both fight against DMC. Oh, it's that arc. So, no, that one we already read. No need to read that. So, I think we saw this too. Not even read, we just skip through over it and I give you every single important detail. So we have 2 minutes. 2 minutes, 2 mice. So, the lowlies, man. The Persona lowlies. So, okay. After I desperately skipped everything, glad you're alive and kicking. Juliet is alive as again. We have now defined Aaron as innocent, Juliet as innocent, and us as innocent. Purely based on it doesn't make sense with everything. With Morris being gone, presumably dead, he wouldn't, like, there's no need for him to do that. He would kill the other opposition for the reasons of, you know, the Violet family is too strong and we have to get rid of him. So that's easy. So, and now something happened with Chris. Let's wake him up. Or something is up with Chris. So, he's trying to wake up early. It is unlocked and he's dead. He writes something on the ground. It is M-O and R. Or it is seemingly M-O and R, but this is later, you know, this is later revealed that it is not actually M-O-R, but all in due time, all in due time. So, 3 wounds, two stitches, two stingers, so poison, and another one on his finger where he could write something before he dies. We don't talk about the metal hand because this is what we see, you know. This is another visual. This is another visual cue for us to realize that what we see, plainly what we see, is not what the DMC sees. Very important. This might not be as important. It just looks like okay, you know, is a funny quirk, but it is actually important. What we see is not what he sees. Surface level vision powers. Let me see if they already have revealed the next chapter, which they didn't. Very surprising. So it is the next reason. Well, I can actually, you know, go through my case file very quickly while watching that. Oh, the lowlies are going to get together. You know, I like those two, Justine and Caroline. Oh, everything in Persona 5 has pretty much a good, you know, a range of personality. It might be a little bit cookie cut at times, but hey, it is how it is. You can't be original all the time. So, okay. That is something that both the title itself, Sherlock Holmes says, and we can assume pretty much. So Wu is, you know, is a trained assassin. So he could have just killed him. The first mistake, if he were to kill Sheringham, he can just kill him, like with no clues whatsoever. Same thing with Chris. I don't think Chris can defend himself because they do say he's an apprentice. He's known to fight. He knows how to fight, but he's an assassin. That's a completely different thing. And you know, if Chris were trusting Wu and Wu would kill Chris, the outcome would be completely different. He would not have time to just write it. So yeah, and now we get the alibis. So give me a second. So that is important to remember. So right now, for the second murder, for the Chris murder, we have Aaron, Adamska, and Wu are all gone. And Hawthorne. 5 people already out of the... That's why I thought this mystery was easy. But I got the wrong person. I'm so mad, man. I'm so mad. But 5 people already are out. Just remember, Wu, Aaron, Adamska, and Hawthorne, all of them were in the same room playing poker. Freaking getting the big bucks. Like, Asian parents, as usual. And that's all there is to it. Nothing you can say is wrong, because even if one is drunk and can't verify the others, I don't know the word right now. The words are all gone. Everyone else can, They are 5. They are definitely not the murderers. Definitely not. Very simple. And Juliet before, which is a hint that I missed out to tell you. Juliet says that she and her twin sister were both, in their room sleeping. So they can both attest to each other. Which is more than one, pretty much. So, that's fine. So those 2 are also out of the way. And I did say that Juliet wouldn't do it. The twin sister might be a bit more, So, might be a bit more, might be a bit more suspicious. But if Juliet would cover, for the twin sister, hey Musti, 10 months. Hey man, you're a big boy, like Saber, huge man, huge lad. Thanks man, 10 months. Are you crazy? 5 subscriber point, yay! I can probably not do anything with it yet. I need to get bigger. But anyways, the story tells us about one singular murderer. So if Juliet were to cover for her twin sister, which they attest to each other, but it's only 2. But it wouldn't make sense, because she would be a convict as well, which, then we have 2 murderers instead of 1. So that is my conclusion. And you can't just say she's not the murderer, she didn't do it, but she helped out, This story is about one singular murderer with one singular intent, not multiple murderers with multiple intents. Or one murderer and a guy who helped. It is simple. It is on the surface level. This is very simple. Thanks, most of you redeemed. That is absolutely nothing. You're the 3rd person so far who redeemed. So far, just the most loyal viewers redeemed. This is nothing, by the way. It's nothing. So, Aaron is hell-bent on making sure that the Goldie and the Violet family come together. He doesn't really care who's alive. Both Morris or Chris, he doesn't care, but he just wants the fusion happening. So this sees, like, it looks like that he doesn't really care for either one of them, which is a bit painful, honestly. So, very, very, very important. I mean, just look around it for a while. It's like she is here. By the way, did anything unusual happen around bedtime last night, Miss Violet? And the answer is chicken attack. Let me save this one and queue up for later, because this is murder mysteries. This is murder mystery night. We gotta figure this out. We gotta go through the chapters, and then I can play the song. I don't wanna ruin the mood right now. That's why I play the original. Miss Violet? Well, that's a strange question. No, Mother turned in early last night. This is probably the biggest hint as to something was wrong with hint number 5, with Mash portraying the family on a rough basis. Miss Violet, she asked, like she first she is confused about, you know, us referring Miss Violet, and then she says no, mother. So yeah, this is the biggest hint. I think no one needs to go, you know, no one needs to put one and one together, right? It's probably obvious. You don't have to put one and one together to realize, you know. Earlier, Juliet introduced us to her twin sister, quote unquote, and mother. She never said who it was. So we assumed that Eva was the mother. And now she asked, I solved it for you guys. I don't have to say the rest. A very important detail, which I didn't see, and it was easy too. It's like a two-head thing. It's like, oh, you know, I can figure this out easily. This is my blunder. I got everything else right, except for this one. I missed out that important one. Mom wearing a bikini inside not. This is also a slight red herring, by the way, because here, I just wanted to go for a little swim since we came all the way to this lovely resort, which means I was under the assumption it was Eva twice now, because first, no, not because of all of this, the roles are reversed, but also because she was swimming outside and didn't see the corpse of Morris. It's at least, it doesn't say that she swam, but I assumed she was going for a swim, or she was, you know, swimming, or she was already coming home from the swim. But, you know, I think she was just hadn't the intent and just wore the clothes. But, you know, I thought that because of this, she didn't see the corpse of Morris we will see later on. He's dead. By the way, he's dead. Oh, big surprise. He's definitely, absolutely dead. He lies on the ground somewhere. Not even on the ground, he lies somewhere in the water. And she didn't see it while she was swimming, which I thought it was very suspicious. But I think this was me not understanding the language a bit. It's just, she never said she went swimming. She just probably had it on and just, you know, was getting ready. Crap, man, yeah. And now he's telling us about what he is, you know. That also rules out Adamska, honestly. He tells us everything. We are the detective. He can lie to us, pretty much. But he doesn't seem to be the first person who would lie to us just to get to a good picture. Because he's not even in the convicted list. Because if he knows, Vu attested to him already. So he doesn't need to tell us the truth. Like, he doesn't need to lie to us in order to get extra points. He can't be the murderer of Chris. And you know, that's why what he tells us is right now the truth. And we can also rule out Adamska completely from the list. Because, you know, this is because of what he says to us right now. He was telling pretty much that he lives for the family, you know, for the family. And it's very important. If you thought before that this is a translation error with, you know, she's saying, like, I thought this was a translation error. This is the second hint towards the hint that helps you realize. He says, I was lucky enough to receive an offer for an arranged marriage with the Violet family daughter. I was intoxicated by her beauty. Thought there was nothing to do as long as it would make her happy. It looks to me that if this Eva person who was just, you know, bickering, not bickering, but flirting around with everyone, with Chris, with Morris, who are younger, presumably, quote unquote, presumably younger than her. You know, he was just saying, stop, Eva. You know, stop it. Freaking unbelievable. But this doesn't sound like it would be Eva is the person he married, because he says himself which is the obvious truth, because he's out of this case, that, you know, he really cares for the mother, for his, you know, wife and the kids. So he would do everything for them, and it would not be something like this if he knew that the mother would just, you know, go into the whole cheating thing. So he would never have those feelings. So we know that the mother, quote unquote, is loyal as well, to a certain degree. Certain degree, I say, on emphasis, it's a certain degree. Because that's another theory that I had, but I don't know if it's right or not. So yeah, a lot of things, a lot of directions. This is very on a on a pure storytelling perspective, or storytelling point of view, it is very all over the place. The theming is, it's just like, it is conveniently written, so everything is a red herring and everything is just, you know, convoluted at times. But you know, you just, like what Holmes said at the end here, it is important for you to not lose the sight of what's important, instead of just going around and do random stuff. You know, like thinking up any, why would he do it, or why would that person do it? That is not the question of this murder mystery. The question is who did it, not why, and you know, with what or when. Very important, very important. So there's a lot of analyzation. I'm sorry, but you know, this is how it was written. Purposely convoluted, thematically odd. So Chris dead, and now, yeah, alibis. Yeah, here she even references herself. Come to think of it, if I think one of the commandments in Nox Sticker Load was no mystery foreigners must figure into the story. And they already assume, this is the first hint you ever get, that the titles have something to do with you know, the case altogether, helping you even more, to make it straightforward. The story overall is convoluted but very straightforward, easy to understand once you get behind it. Therefore, you know, it is both it's very interesting written, honestly. You know, at one hand, it tries to confuse you with a lot of detail that is unnecessary. On the other hand, it helps you a lot with those titles, with Holmes saying very important things, and Moriarty as well. He's there too. So yeah, this is a very interesting story writing. I gotta say, I'm intrigued. My brain very hooed. Elevated brain. Yeah, this advice was unnecessary. We don't have to be careful because we are DMC. We don't die easy, right? So yeah, all those things have something to do, and at least I cannot say for most of them because I don't understand some of them. But this one is true because, you know, everyone is in here. The murderer is one of them. All supernatural or preternatural agencies are. So this one, I thought it was a hint of that there's no something like a invisible assassin who kills with air. There's nothing like this out there. No hit hurt or an undiscovered poison may be used. I was referring to with Shirlingham, who is not dead because he didn't die to poison. No strange and foreigners must figure, which Holmes said was, you know, Wu. No accident nor accountable intuition, which is MASH for later. Fuck MASH. The detective must not himself commit the crime, which is referring to us or to Sherlock, but it's one of us, so, you know. But since I don't assume at this point that Shirlingham would kill someone because he's our servant or he's working for Charlier, he wouldn't go out of his way to kill a random person from the Goldie family just for something to happen outside of his, you know, jurisdiction. So, you know, we and him are out of this, and the detective is bound to detail any clues. That is just referring to he gave us more clues, you know, helpful clues. So I got hung up in all of that more than you think. That freaking, but yeah, I hope I explained it easy enough with Adamska, his whole intent, which you can also transfer to Juliet. He said that he said at one point they have the same personality. Juliet denies it, but it's pretty true. Adamska might be portrayed by Lancelot, but it's at this point only because of his purple hair. So we can assume that it's not everyone is personality-wise the same as the one we see as portrayed. We have Moriarty being the doctor. Hawthorne does have a secret. He does have some sort of, you know, scheming in the bag, but he's not really evil. He just looks old. That is the thing, you know. So that is something for people that get too hung up with their personalities. It's just the appearance at times. That's the only thing that might reflect and might, because I already said that that freaking we can't trust our eyes. How can mirrors be real if our eyes aren't real? There they are. The insinuation that Eva is the mother is because we see both of them together, both mothers together. Very interesting. So. Oh. So. This is also not helping, honestly. Like, look at this. So. You sisters. This is very, very important. This is probably after the Eva talk. This is the most important fact. It is like, if you missed the Eva part, this one is very important. You think? I know we're technically twins, but we are actually fraternal, not identical. I don't see much resemblance myself. So, both Steno, quote unquote, Harriet and Juliet look different. They might have the same name. They might sometimes say, you know, random things like this. And, you know, Eva might act up, might act up like, so this is all of it doesn't matter. Appearance, everything doesn't matter. What she says is factual. We are fraternal. We are not identical twins. That is a red. This is like the Hong Kong. You're so stupid, reader, that we have to give you another clue that's so easy to get. So, and by the way, the reaction. She might say daddy, which at first point, you know, okay, Juliet, you know, says the daddy thing, but here, she repeats what Juliet says. So it is, if you were in a shonen environment and you have a daughter, you know, the mother's here, and then, you know, the daughter says something and says daddy at the end, then the mother repeats, says daddy as well, or the friend or your best friend standing around, yeah, what's up with you being so chum, daddy? This is in this direction. It's a little bit of a redirection here. Interesting, but it is, you know, repeating. It is in this case, if you go into it a little bit more, envision yourself into the scenery, then it is, you know, what I said. She says daddy, not because, like, it's, you know, not because she's the twin, but because she says that you know, like I said, the best part is, I'm gonna be excited. I'm gonna be so happy if I'm wrong. I'm gonna be so happy if I'm wrong, because everything I thought up so far, which was leading up to the point of the reveal, is wrong. That would be absolutely funny. But hey, so yeah, and the reaction of Damska is very interesting. Harriet, just because it's true doesn't mean you have to say it. So, if your daughter would say something like this, you would say, "Come on, man, cut that shit out. I'm the dad and you can't say shit to me." Maybe a little bit nicer, like, "Hey, please don't say something like this to me, you shit. I birthed you. Your mom birthed you." So the reaction, although this is more of an interpretation at this point, so you take it. Take it as face value. I think that this is more of a behavior close to, like, the reaction that he is so not so defiant towards Harriet. But yeah, personality wise, I think she takes after mother. They're both free spirited and honestly kind of jealous. Yeah, serious side of me. Yeah, sure, daddy. Let's just leave it at that. Now it's true. As much as she wants to deny, they are probably more serious. Poor Adamska. He's just not liked for some reason. Just because he looks like the boy. Who I have MP3, by the way. I'm very proud of him. So, right now, by the way, very important. We have everything so far. The last alibi we need is of Dorothy. And what we have is the alibi of Eva and, you know, Eva and Juliet and her twin sister. Very important. I say Eva, not mom, because I already said it, but this is the other hint I was forgetting to mention. So much, man. So much big brain. too huge brain. I also was thinking about that their reactions would be way too docile. Like freaking Aaron is the only one who goes crazy after someone dies and is going happy because someone is not dead. But he's the only one who reacts really, really sad. Dorothy is just sad, and it's all. And now we are suspecting Dorothy, but she was with Kane and Laurie, so she is also an alibi, which Kane later on confirms. The same date, and he didn't lie. Very easy. They might be free with Dorothy or with Laurie being too small to maybe account as an alibi because kids and all, but Kane had the exact date or the exact time, and Dorothy had also the exact time, and they all matched together. If one of them is the culprit, one of them would be the liar. Obviously, one of them would say a different date. That's the thing. And yeah, Eva's getting close to us again. For what reason she would go chum with with younger people, quote unquote. I don't know. So yep, and we find more things. Look at her. This is, by the way, I also thought this was a slip up of her personality. Juliet always did have an impeccable bad timing. I thought she was about to kill us in order to cover it. That's why I was so adamant that it was Eva, because she just slipped it out. She's a free-spirited person, not as smart, not as serious as both Adamska and Juliet. So that's why she just slipped out her intent to murder us in there, But freaking, I just assumed things and thinking that it would be right. So yeah. So now he tells us the lips and the eyes were bitten off. A corpse was seen with orange, not orange but blonde hair. We don't know what it is, which is a big boy red herring, which will solve itself later. With most of those things, they solve itself later, rather easily. So, it gives you a lot of directions, but it also solves those directions, so you get focused back. If it was an actual very difficult murder mystery, they would all leave this as possibilities without being solved out, to make it harder for us. But the game itself makes it easier with the titles, with how the story is written, and so on and so forth. So I don't know if Aaron already talked about him slipping up. I have no idea. So yeah, Laurie is just so unfortunate accident. Now he's sad again because he's dead. And Anne, odd so far, the people with the least amount of interaction were Anne and Eva, making both of them instantly suspicious, honestly. Like, you talk with Eva maybe 2 or 3 times because we're hanging out with Juliet, and if not with Juliet, we hang out with the old man Heffron. If not for Heffron, we hang out with Wu. So that's us. And Anne is only there for a couple of times, just a little bit. She was there to bury or to see Chris through. She was there to put him in the basement. Ah, there's the slip up. This is what Neb said in Discord, that he said it to Harriet. But no, I don't. I think he said it. He mistakes someone right now. Yeah. He says those things. He was playing around, having one night stands to Juliet, because she reminds him of someone. Which, now this is a hint to another hint to a thing that is not even established enough, making it a little bit more difficult. You can take it, but this is more iffy. So, not even as iffy as my biggest assumption. So, now we're both together. Good old Steno, who's not acting, like she usually does. Like right now, Steno is a lot nicer. She doesn't act like a goddess. She's just a nice little Just a nice girl. And here, you can see the blackout for us. Didn't look like we were falling asleep. You know, just another red herring. Like, oh, we are now dying. Someone wants to kill us. It solved itself. Like freaking the game just leads us everywhere. But it did drop. The majority of the hints, or the very important hints, were in the middle, pretty much. But yes. Oh yeah, now we're talking about the full moon because Holmes is about to self-insert into our story. Because he figured out where we were. Kogetsu Hotel, Crescent Moon Hotel. He looked up as a where would you see a full moon? What island looks like a crescent moon? Went there, go in, get killed, pretend to be dead because Hawthorne was playing for him, and you know, that's how he self-inserts. Freaking guy, man. What a man. What kick him in the balls. Just because Moriarty's more important. No. Surprisingly, it is not much about Holmes, even though he self-inserts. It's not much about Holmes. So, I think, did they say it? Did they say it about Anne? No, I think it's for later. So, poor lady. You can't force a lady to carry you all over here. So, I still have no idea what real going on in this case, but Senpai's support team, we need to figure out a way to help him crack it. Yep. Then they go, and he wants to, you know, yeah. The word of the day is self-insertion, insertion. So yeah, okay. YouTube is asleep right now. Good. So, Holmes pieced together. Yep. So, well, come on and said it, but it sounded to me like Anne might be Chris's mother. Might. Yes, that certainly seems likely. Likely. One could tell much from her behavior. Yep. So then Anne lost her son too. We have solved this case quickly before anyone else dies here. Yes, indeed, Chris' dying message, though there may not be a point much bringing it up now. At any rate, assuming this message was indeed meant to point the killer, we cannot assume he would simply write the killer's name. A defining attribute of the killer would be more than suffice. Personally, I believe he meant to write Mom. Mom? But how would that point out the culprit? It may not be the complete message, but it's also only 3 letters, making it much easier than writing out a full name. Though it is unfortunate, Chris evidently failed to finish writing even that, given the false impression that it was actually more. Mom. Wait a moment. If Chris was talking about his own mom, does that mean Anne is out to kill Senpai right now? Red herring. I told you about it. That the titles help you out on this journey. And she is the unaccountable intuition. She is the unaccountable intuition. Pretty much. I mean, she does beat me up. Yeah. And does actually beat me up. Ugh. So, you know, happens. But here, very important. This was the chapter we just read. No accident, nor unaccountable intuition. Frickin' mesh, man. Twice already she beefed it up. Twice. Very stupid. No joke. She's an okay girl. But, you know, don't trust her. Don't trust her. So, what is this place? She put us out because like I said, I was very suspicious as to why everyone in this freaking hotel didn't react to deaths at all, except for Aaron, who goes crazy, man. He goes bonkers. He's the only one who actually goes bonkers in here. Anne was a little bit sad, probably. She was probably very sad. That's why she took Chris to the basement. So, you know. So both of them. I can also disclude Anne out of the equation of her being the murderer, because it's simple. First, unaccountable intuition is MASH. Second, she has an alibi. And third, she has no reason. other than Wu could have a reason. If he is an assassin and still works as an assassin, and he is tasked to kill the Goldie family in order for the Violet family, or kill both families in order to give the power to the one that contracted him, then he had one. But Anne doesn't. Anne is pretty much a veteran worker for the Marvel company, which has a reputation that they can't lose. So yeah, here we have it. I can also rule out, like, based on evidences and already intent, actions and everything, you can naturally rule out people already. Naturally, very simply too. You might have a say about this, say something against it, but based on that, it turns from a you counterclaim a claim pretty much, making it more more abstract, which wouldn't help the case at all. So instead of arguing who might not be, or why the person is not the person, argue who is the person, why you think it is. Anyways, so we pookied out a lot of poison because someone drugged us. I have no idea why they always drug us all the freaking time. Why would they drug us all the time, man? Stupids. So the Adamsa family is pretty much untouched. Very interesting. While the Goldie family lost 2 people now. So, and now, nope. So Sheringham's body is gone missing. A bunch of locks. Oh no. So now it leads all back to Sheringham, which it will solve itself. This is like the majority of the talk in here. All the directions, all the red herrings are solving themselves pretty much. With the only thing left is the truth. The unbiased truth. So yeah, now they try to find the boy Sheringham / Sherlock Holmes, which will be revealed soonish. And Kane is not nice to us, pretty much. All the experienced old man out there go away. The fight himself goes the other side, and yeah. Oh no, he finds wolves, fight the wolves. Then we go back, and then Kane uses the chance to try to take us out. I don't know how old he is. He's probably 14 or 15. He's smart enough to play the trick. So, yeah, killing, threatening, and there he is. Freaking self-insertion, man. I can't believe he did it. So, and I think we are now at 8. Was it? I'm surprised 8 was so fast. Was it not 7? What the fight was? I'm surprised. Wait. So. Okay, no, that is. Freaking Sherlock, man. What are they doing here? Freaking man. What a god. He just knows how to get here. And just serve word. the important word. So, May 2019, 15, which is why we are in the Futura. Shouldn't say that. But we're in the Futura right now. So we are very confused. I have no idea how this connection even works to begin with. So. And I think with all of this that I said already, we can, you guys probably know who it is. And I already said it already again. I voted Harriet, and it is Harriet. But I think if we put all those pieces of evidence as we had all over this, we can, we can kind of see. And then there's another theory I have for the aftermath. This is about the mom writing. But this might be far-fetched, honestly. It might be far-fetched. Also Kane, again, this is also a show that the Violet family is more or less only from the hair color wise. That's why the servants were chosen. Of their violet hair. That's all. And he attests the same time, the right timing. 11:25. And he wasn't there when Dorothy was attesting it. I think Laurie was there only. Right? I think he wasn't there, but I still can't think he isn't. So, yeah, Holmes. Holmes is freaking alive, and Hawthorne, yeah. Here, Hawthorne, he did it. He did it. So, yep, Hawthorne was a liar, a backstabbing person. So he already solved it, and we will solve it with him. So yeah. The big boy clicking goes, man. The big boy clicking intensifies. So deduction. And now he's solving the issue. We are all solving the issue. It was clearly written mom. Yep. Because he will now confirm it. He pushes the powder and it is mom. It is written mom. So freaking Anne is the first herring. If you don't read much and you only listen to Mesh, which is the unaccountable intuition, don't listen to Mesh, then you already know, you know. Solve the evidence. Clear out everything that is unnecessary. Check every single alibi. And only, you know, and don't trust what you see. Are all the things he said, which are very important. So let's go through it very quickly. So it only starts being important over here, I think. This was the part where Chris died, or was it this one? Or this one? I think this one was the part where Chris died. Pretty much here starts all the alibi collections. Because since Sherlock isn't dead, he's a small red herring. If you don't pay attention, he's the person that didn't do anything. So therefore, you know, he didn't die. No one killed him, so no one was the murderer of him. But both Morris and Chris were killed from the Goldie family. Those are absolute truths. Both Morris and Chris. It might be that Morris is still alive. It might be. But I think it's very unlikely, as Aaron said. And there's no other corpse to rely on. Chris is still in the basement, with Wu confirming it. Which kind of confirms. So, you know, the alibis. First, let's put this all together. I would like to have the graph, honestly. Give me a second. I think it's on the wiki. I use the power of the wiki. So, characters. Alrighty, very good. So, Aaron. Aaron was with everyone pokering. Dorothy was asleep with Laurie and Kane. Both can attest with each other, Kane and Dorothy. Therefore, Laurie doesn't need to attest herself another time. So, those three are for clean. Morris is dead. No need to say anything. There is not another corpse you could use. He is absolutely fucking dead. Adamska, or he's alive, and there's like a, as if there's a, you know, he's just they're pulling out some random shenanigans. That would be kind of sad though. So Aaron, Adamska, both have something. You know, they both have an alibi. Pokering. Juliet attests for her twin. Eva attests for herself again. Which is already suspicious. That's why I thought it was the mom. Because, you know, she only attests for herself. And you can't really take an attest that is only with one person. And everyone else has another person, you know. Juliet has her twin. Adamska and Aaron have, you know, the whole poker party. Dorothy has the kids. And, you know, everyone has someone or more than one person. More than one person. And Wu are both with the poker party. Chris is absolutely dead. He's so dead. Sheringham is dead too, or was at the time dead. And even if he was not in the basement chilling anymore, he was probably, you know, going out there deducing things. which we saw him in the jungle, and Sherlock can, as a servant, it wouldn't make sense for him as a servant to kill someone. He has no connection whatsoever with them. And Hawthorne was also pokering. So yes, the most important part again, for the alibi only, it is Eva and Juliet's twin. So the thing is, we always assumed that Harriet is the twin sister based on how she looks. You know, we just assumed this. But all those hints all those hints and evidences that we've seen in this story so far, which I will just point out the most significant ones. Eva saying, being confused about us asking about Miss Violet, and then she answers with no, like, you know, Miss Violet. And then, wait, I forgot the rest, but she said then mother something. So yeah, something about mother, as she didn't know what mother was doing. So that's the first thing, that Eva's the twin. I said you can't remember things. I only talk. My only ability is to talk, not to remember. I say it was Gino. Obviously it's me. Like, at the end of the day, it's always streamer fault, huh? And the second very important hint is that Juliet says himself that they are not looking the same. They are fraternal twins, which you might say that we might be fooled based on the fact that, you know, we don't see the right people anyways. So what she says might not be of any significance, but we are already fooled because Harriet looks like Juliet. She's probably the splitting image of her mom, pretty much. She's probably the splitting image. So we can infer this one. We can infer that it's roughly right. The hair color is at least right for the Demska family, with Eva being, you know, whatever, and Kane being a little bit over there. But, you know, what if we were already fooled, and then what she says, like, even if we are fooled visibly, what she says is absolute. What we hear is right. We don't mix up the words. We don't, like, they don't say Fion, or they don't say, you know, Marie Antoinette. They don't say Paul Bunyan as their names. We are not that confused. We only can't see the right thing. So what they say is truth, unbiased truth. So that's what I was getting at. Those two hints are more than enough to ascertain that Eva is the sister and Harriet is the mother. Now, my reasoning for everything was because I didn't see the connection. I was blind enough to not see that Eva is actually the twin sister and Harriet is Harriet is the wife. I was thinking it was the mother, based on all the evidence we had. First, or I don't know if I can start with the most important one. This is more of a, I think I have to open up my Discord because I don't remember the words correctly. Help! Discord! Help me! Alright. Wait a minute. So. Okay. Discord need help. So. God, we wrote a lot of things, man. We wrote a lot of things. So, where is it? Where is it? Okay, no, that's not it. Okay. So, no, wait a minute. It's a good thing I wrote it down, yeah? No, that's not, okay. No? This is the clue I was hanging on. I might have to start with this most important. With this is a hey Yoshiki, just bully streamer for easy wins for, yeah. Okay. It seems that I started my whole assumption that Eva was the murderer was based on the fact of two singular facts. The much weaker one is the fact that Eva went swimming, or I assumed she went swimming. I mentioned it before, and therefore I thought that Eva was the murderer because she has no, you know, she has no credibility because she. If we're assuming that Eva is the mother, which now we know she isn't, but if we assume she is the mother, she doesn't have an alibi because she can only attest for herself, and everyone has another person, therefore making her alibi, uncredible. She says herself she went to sleep at 10 or 12, 10 or 11. So that's that. That's with the Eva. That's why I thought Eva's alibi was already gone, and then the other thing is that she had swimsuit on. She had a swimsuit on, and I assumed that she should have seen the body of Morris, or she was planning on moving the body while she was outside swimming to move the body to a place where they could see it. Therefore, that's why she was out there. But I think she didn't went out. I think this is unclear pretty much in the story whether she went out to go swimming in the park or she just had the intent. So that was my reasoning for finding Eva being the culprit. And the second one, the very, very important one, is the fact that has something to do with the last message of Chris. He wrote Mom. Obviously it leads to N, but since I already know accident or unaccountable intuition, Mash is an unaccountable intuition because she thinks she has an assumption based on how they act that that Anne is the mother, therefore she thinks it is right, but it's not right. It is unaccountable. The story tells you herself that Mash is wrong. So Anne already is not the mother. So who could the mother be? This is like two people. Dorothy and Eva, quote unquote. And since frickin' Dorothy would remember Chris, and he would not be a legitimate child, he would be the middle child. It all falls down to Eva. So that is where at least in Discord I was talking, and Neb said it is not as credible, or he doesn't believe that Eva is the mother, quote unquote. Let's just say Harriet at this point. Harriet is the mother of Chris, and like both Aaron and Harriet came together, made a child. Child was Chris. That is the most important assumption I had. I thought that by the time before I realized it's freaking Harriet is the mother of the Violet family is the mother of Chris, and the father is Aaron, and obviously obviously that is credible enough. There's only this solution left. That's the only reason why he would write Mom. You could argue there's the person, or there could be a person who took his hand, bite off his hand, and wrote Mom himself. Wrote Mom herself, like the culprit. But it is pretty much denied by the fact that Sherlock has this sort of spray who shows what he would have done written, and if the culprit would have written Mom, the culprit would have finished the sentence. He would have seen, alright, the M is gone, like a little bit of a slurp more, and then little bit of a bite, and then draw it more. So we can already assume that the culprit did not write Mom in there. It was actually Chris with some intent to write it, and he let his guard down purely because of those reasons. Pretty much, he might not know that his mom was actually Harriet slash he might not know it, but probably Harriet told him, and then she killed her. She killed Chris. Her intent, I don't know what her intent is. So far, what the assumption of her intent would be is that the Goldie family lost 2 members. Only the Goldie family. They would have went probably. They should, if it was more of a they don't like the engagement, they would have killed off. If it was more objective, if they say the family union is not good enough, they would have killed either just to spread out the. They would have killed either one of them just to make the goal that they don't get together, sacrificing the child. Aaron was ready to do it, so why can't we assume that Harriet would do the same. But yeah, I think since she was only targeting one family, she has attachment to her family, which is over the duty of her family to to prevent their collapse from this unknown force, the third party force who can wipe both of them. So she has what I assume is her intent, the mother's intent, whether it is Harriet, Eva, whether I'm wrong or right, but the mother's intent at least would be is because she wants to protect the children. Morris not being a good child, and Chris because she can't say the truth to his loyal husband. We seen this whole sentence about Adamska sacrificing himself for the family. He would be devastated if he knew that Harriet or slash the mother would have had another child with someone else. So that's why she can't let the truth spill out. So her love for her husband and her family is stronger than her bond with her legitimate son. So she decided to kill the son just to protect the family. Pretty much. That is what I feel like is everything so far. So yeah. The Goldie family itself also feels more detached than the Violet family in general, because based on all the interactions we've seen, the interactions that we had with the Golden family with each other, it's just, did you drink too much again? Aaron, I don't care if my son is dead, we have Chris now. Chris is dead, I don't care because Morris might be alive. No, the general environment in the Goldie family is rather toxic, rather bad. Harriet Tubman, I don't know what that means. So, so it might also give us a reason as to why the mother did it, because she didn't want Julia to go into that toxic family. She's an overprotective mother pretty much, and she didn't want this to happen. And yeah, and killing Chris should be obvious, no incest. No incest. Chris might have been a good choice, but I think at one point Juliet figured out who Chris is. I think since Eva is so so innocent, I think Eva doesn't need to know it. So that's why Juliet, the more serious person, and Adamska can't know the truth, because that would break his heart. So at one point Harriet probably figured, Juliet found out, and Harriet knew probably that Juliet knew. They like, this is a conundrum, but they both knew. Like, Harriet knew that Juliet knew that Chris is the son, which is all an assumption right now, based on the fact that I thought that it was the mother, and I leave the name out because I got through all of this. And accused the mother, which I thought was Eva at the time, but I couldn't see the two simple, very very easy to see details that led me to Harriet being the mother. But anyways, at one point she found out, pretty much. She knows that Chris is her brother, and she reacted that way, and we never thought about this again. This is one of the few things that just went away. Like, usually if you throughout the story, everything solved itself. I said it already, and again it will solve itself. Morris disappeared, solves itself. Sherlock being dead, solves itself. Freaking, there's a lot of examples. I can't think of more. I'm losing my breath. I talk too much, man. So there's a lot of things that solve itself, except this one part. It's convenient enough, even though it gives more context and more red herrings. This one lead doesn't lead to anything. It just stops. It just says, okay, no, we're talking about something different. Everything else in is by itself conclusive. It is conclusive, except for this one part where she's mad that Chris was chosen instead. And this is the last evidence that I needed, or the last reaction at least, that I needed to realize that that Chris's mother is Eva, slash mother slash is the mother, divided mother slash Harriet, not Eva, and that's why I voted Harriet. Boah, pretty much. if I didn't get those 2 things wrong, those 2 very important hints wrong, I voted Eva too on the other account. I have to. I don't think I have to explain it all the time, but I voted Eva already. Then I went to Discord and told what I think about it. And then, Nap said 5-head, but it is wrong. And then I was like, oh, you're right, I'm wrong. And then, but it is just that the mother and the sister are mixed. This is the part I didn't even think about, because I had everything else figured. That's why I thought I don't need to think about it anymore. So yeah. So much brains. That's why I chose Harriet. To end this stream and have this conclusive in the singular or 2 sentences. I think it was Harriet because Chris wrote with a bloody finger mom, which led to Harriet, and she is the only logical choice of being the mom. And that's it. That's that. That is the major evidence that I needed. That I needed to come up with Harriet being the culprit. Big brain moment, yeah. So again, I'll repeat it again. Here. I think it's Harriet because Chris wrote with bloody finger mom, and the only possible solution is Harriet. That's it. It's very straightforward. If you think about this, it's extremely straightforward. Everything is a red herring. Every single detail is unnecessary. The most important part only starts at half the story, pretty much. Everything else is filler. There are many very striking evidences, and then we have Chris giving us the most important evidence to find out the culprit. Pretty much the most important one. So yeah, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I don't think I'm wrong. With the help of of Discord Nap, I found the truth, and my brain very hoot now, as Purple said. Ha. I obviously can't say if I'm right. I obviously can't show that I'm right. I don't have any evidence saying that I'm right. Like, there's nothing I can do to show that I'm right. But if I'm right, then it just means I could have just taken it out of the internet. Like, if I'm right. It's just, okay, he just got to Japan, or just to a random Discord, or to a Reddit session or some, and then he just read there who the culprit was. Easy peasy. Pook. Disgusting. Like, if I'm right. But hey, this is at least my thought process. I was also, at the beginning, I was also going all over the place. But at the middle part, I started focusing, because home said focus. Well, you ain't rolling for keto on that account? No, I can't. I can't do it, boy. I can't do it, boy. So, but I just open up the other account right now. Because I want to pull. And obviously we're gonna play Chicken Attack, because it was recommended. I have another cool song, but it will be played later, I suppose. It was redeemed like 1 billion years ago. But I didn't want to go out of my way to play it and then disrupt the mood. So okay, I will play this for the end of the stream. Thanks for watching. That was my thought process. As much as I'm very mad that Nap was surprised that I'm actually smart. Do I always sound stupid? Do I sound stupid? I just want to know. Just tell me. Just tell me. Beat me up. It's a good song. Just tell me. Just, do I sound stupid usually? I need one. Can't believe it, man. I actually can't believe it. I'm still shooken, man. I'm still shooken. I don't know, really. Both, maybe. No comment, cover. Thanks, man. Obviously, I got there. Thanks, man. Thank you, guys. Great. So. I need one SQ because I need to summon. I need to summon. That's what I'm gonna do at least. It's a good song. I get that one SQ, and we're gonna be bopping. Best chicken today. Because that is the last thing I do. Sadly, I'm too slow for the music, but it's good again. I say good music. So, you really want to roll for? Yeah. You know, at this point I'm all in. Whatever, man. And if I don't get out, what do I care, man? It happens. Life goes around, man. I stopped caring about pulls so long ago. You know, the reason why I can be so chill, no matter what I get. Like the best part is, you know, people usually assume he gets good shit anyways, you know, whatever. What can you do? Stupid guy gets good shit, and then wait. I think I was too loud. Yeah. Don't talk too loud. Yeah. Okay, I was too loud. Oh boy. Too invested. Tongue's over. I'm sweating too, man. So where was I? But yeah, the reason why I sacrificed all my you know care for pulling in order to be completely neutral. I just play the game to have fun at the end. I don't really care what I get. I mean, I always got good stuff, so people say, oh, you can say that, you get good things. Even I don't get. Right now, I didn't get Okita. And do I want her? Maybe. I don't want to say yes, because Neb might take it against me, so maybe. But, you know, am I feeling, you know, hurt or something? Is it painful for me to not have her? Nah. Whatever, man. Happens. What can you say? What can you do? He's chill. I take it chill. Whatever, man. He's divine, so he's absolutely dead. He's absolutely flipping dead. I need 4 points, so I don't even know if I can do it fast. Yeah, that's the gems. That's a good servant. That's this and that. I might not even be able to do it. I need like 3 quests done. I could technically try and do the weak one. I think I do it now. Yeah, I'll pick on the weak one, just to get 1 SQ. I just need 1 SQ to pull, so I can leave it. Where is it? 8 servants, good servants, balanced servants. Yeah, let's go to the weakest one, and we good. So, beat 'em up, beat 'em up, beat 'em up, beat 'em up. Recess puff, recess puff. In the meantime, I can listen to Odd One. Yeah, Persona. I think he's almost at the part where the third semester finally begins. I'm looking forward to it. It's just taking a long ass time. I said, I want some Kazumi action. I've been waiting for this for so long. Do I even say the name right at this point? I never remember. So yeah, if you wonder what's the sound, it's another stream. It was about goddamn time I was watching the other stream. In the meantime, give me that pull. 1 SQ to change the world, or to do absolutely nothing. Witness my resolve. Yeah. Ooh, the music is good.
Yeah, I gotta get rid of Thor. Drone was in what's it called?
Good jam, good jam.
Cause they need 9 angels or whatever. Or the 9, whatever.
So, yeah, he actually went with everyone, by the way. So the harem ending, but at least he gets the right shoki. I would have eaten ass if he took the wrong shoki. So, don't mind it. Brave Blade. Ooh, new attack. Brave Blade. So we got the second quest, 3 good servants, and now we just have to complete the quests multiple times. It's just gonna take a little bit. There he is, freaking MP3, absolutely beautiful. Persona good jammies, man. It has amazing jammies. I think people found a resurgence in listening to Persona 5 music, and you know, freaking, it was never gone, but they found resurgence because of Royal. It's just amazing. Can't say anything against it. So my last right now is already at 2k fools. So you know, my Irish is a bit stronger. Not MP3 sadly, but hey, a bit stronger. I'll take those. But I'm not feeling jelly. I don't care. You don't have to overdo another person in you know, MPs. If you like a servant and get only 1 copy, it doesn't reduce, you know, your feelings. If you take it the more philosophical way. I always thought about it was unnecessary to compare or to be jealous. It doesn't make sense at all. Like, the only thing that the other guy can't buy from you is the feelings you have.
Wait, how did it do so much
Like,
damage?
and it doesn't matter how rich this guy is, he can never take it away from you. Unless he buys your opinion or something. But I guess you win some, right? You win some, you lose some.
The charge shouldn't work with that, right? Does it work with the technical?
Hey, you get money out of this, so whatever, man. If someone actually pays you for that, for whatever reason, do it, man. It's free money, and just go back to your word. Because no one should define who you like, who you dislike, or what you think. Backstabbing back.
President Odd One.
It's just 1 pull too. I might just get nothing. Doing all this work for nothing. But it's gonna be beautiful nothing. You know? Very important. It's gonna be beautiful nothing. They are cursed. Oh no, Abaddon! The one who has no weakness, Abaddon. So. That's all I know. I don't know much of this game. I like going to the Phantom Den and start playing the jams, yeah. Like, sometimes I feel like you should just play games and just listen to the music again. Sometimes I go back to Shovel Knight and just listen to the music. Again, my favorites is still La Danse Macabre and the Sky City theme, which I forget the name of. Very good themes. But they hurt me, man. This game hurt me physically. It is not good for you, buddy. So. Abaddon threw 2 billion benzo yen away. Jins. Yeah, all one got some high tier personas on. All of them have more than 40 points, man. How crazy can it get? Anyways. 6,000. The damage is ridiculous, man. He got Mara too, by the way. If you know what I mean. He got the dick car.
I can feel it. Can you even wash those clothes you're being given?
No. You never wash clothes.
I mean, while this dungeon's on. I'm assuming you have to just beat it.
Probably. So. Alrighty. Okay, again, thanks for watching. I'll be off now. I will pull one last time. I played chicken attack, so you know you can't say I didn't do anything. We're gonna use those. Yeah. And then we pull another one. Will we get someone? Or will we not get someone? The obvious answer is no. But hey, I at least did something for the stream. Oh wait. We gotta trade it off. Staying for 1 SQ pull, man. 1 SQ pull, PogChamp. He's doing it, boys. The 1 SQ pull. I can't believe it, man. So, first I'm gonna ruin my... Nah, I'm never gonna ruin my pulls. A singular pull. Draw. Is it a monster card or is it gonna be a, I guess, a random ass E? Oh, it's a random ass E. Jewel Sword Seldrick. Well, that was unlucky. Paper hands. Bye bye. So what was the 3 point? Do I get, you know, angry mango? No. I just get balls. Righty, bye.